Greetings, everyone. It is Isaac Wells, the voice of Internet's Skeletor. You're watching Dragonfire Entertainment. And remember, listening to a podcast before bedtime is the adult version of story time. Until we meet again.
How's it going, my fellow beer enthusiasts? Welcome to What's Your Poison, and as always, I am Wildman Wes. Today we're going to be reviewing some beers from a brewery from my neck of the woods in the Quad Cities. Today we're going to be talking about Adventurous Brewing from Bettendorf, Iowa, and this is going to be part one because there was a lineup of beers that I bought at the tap house, and I was like, I don't know which ones to do. So today's going to be part one of a two-parts. So as you can see, we have three beers in front of us right now, and we're going to go one by one and see what they're like. Alright, first up today we have IOWA Amber. This is a 6% Classic American Amber Ale. So it's been a while since I've had this one, and what I remember was it's very malty, has a dried biscuit finish, but a hint of sweetness. So I'm hoping that it stays the same as what I had before. As you can see, we've got really good carbonation. The head is very marshmallowy. I like that because it definitely gives off an aroma before you even do a 3-sniff. I'm getting a little bit of that malt already. Almost smoky, which that is pretty cool. I mean, for reds and whatnot, or amber ales actually, it's just, anyways, who am I kidding? I need to take a sip. Yup. Just as I remembered, smoky, almost a bit nutty. And it has that really dry finish where sometimes people aren't a big fan of beers drying out their palate or sometimes being considered palate wreckers for especially beers that have a lot of high ABV. This one, what I love about beers that dry out my palate, it's not that it's wrecking it, it actually makes me want to have more. Because the more that my palate dries out, I'm sitting there going, I feel like oh man, what's going on with my tongue? So I need more beer, because that way it makes you more thirsty for a lot more beer. And that being said, I mean, this is, I want to say 4 3/4 out of 5 pows on this one. Damn near close to perfect, and I like that. So we're off to a good start. I'm going to finish the rest of this glass and we'll move on to our next beer. Next on the line today, we have Pleased as Pie Pineapple. This is a 6% sour ale with pineapple puree, vanilla, cinnamon, and milk sugar. Now, I haven't had this one yet. While I was at the tap house at Adventurous Brewing, I did have their key lime pie sour. So those of you that have probably been around for a while watching these episodes, you get the idea that I'm a big fan of sours and I do enjoy a good key lime pie sour. However, when it comes to pineapple, it's a hit or a miss. So they didn't have any on hand to buy for the key lime sour. They did have the pineapple. So I stand before you nervous and excited at the same time. So, nersited or who cares? Let's just open this can up, right? Ooh. Very light golden color already. Oh, frothy head. I like that. Oh, ain't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that. It's like a sunrise. A beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Alright, here we go. Ooh, okay. So definitely getting the pineapple. That cinnamon is definitely there. The vanilla, I can smell a little bit of a creaminess, so that's probably the vanilla in there. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like a pastry sour, but here we go. Wow! They didn't lie! Okay, I stand corrected about what I've said about pineapple and sour being a hit or miss. This is a hit, very much. And the cinnamon right now is lingering. The pineapple's still there, but that cinnamon's just, this tastes like a pastry. It does say pleased as pie, so I mean it does say a sour ale, but this is definitely a pastry sour. And as Bill Murray once said in the movie musical version of Little Shop of Horrors, "You are something special. You are something special." Yeah, 5 out of 5 on this one. Wow. I mean, I was impressed with the key lime pie version of the sour, but the pineapple, digging it. And if you're around Adventurous Brewing and you like a good sour ale, get yourself some Pleased as Pie pineapple, because seriously, if I love it this much, I'm sure you will too. I'm gonna have to savor this as best as I can because we got one more beer to go, and I'm gonna be sad when this is all gone. Sorry, Becca, I stole your line. Closing up part 1 today, we have Adventurous Warrior. This is an 8% double IPA with Warrior, Galaxy, and Mosaic hops. Now, I had this a while back and enjoyed it a lot, but I looked at the Warrior hops and I was questioning, well, what exactly are Warrior hops and where do they come from? Part of me wondered, parts unknown? Sorry, too many wrestling references, I get it, I mean, look at the shirt. But anyways, after digging into it with some research, I found out that Warrior hops are going to give it a very clean, smooth bitterness and a hint of citrus and pine. So that's where my mind started wondering about this when I had it last time, being slightly earthy. And it does have a good dankness to it, and definitely a good citrus bite. So I am excited to relive this one. Ooh, yeah. Hazy. Hazy, hazy, hazy. Look at that. Whoa. Lot of head. You know, sometimes my pouring skills aren't always the greatest. 2 separate colors right there. Look at that, is beautiful though. This is 3 for 3 right now when it comes to the head consistency. It's very frothy, and that's always a good thing in my book. So we're gonna have a little sniff and get our notes. Citrusy, yup. A little bit of pine. Chances are the pine is probably going to be more on that mouthfeel when I mentioned the earthy note, so here we go. This is the ultimate IPA! No, but in all seriousness, this is a very well-balanced IPA. The flavor profiles are spot on. There is that earthiness, there is that citrus note. I would say more on a tropical style as opposed to just orange juice, grapefruit, yada yada yada. But yeah, this is very pleasant. Oh, hang on. Yes, indeedy. Now, that being said, I wouldn't say it's the greatest IPA of all time. It's up there. I have had a lot of great ones. This one, I would say probably at least in my top 10. Maybe hitting top 5, but at least in the top 10. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to say a 4.5 out of 5. This one is quite a contender for one of the greatest IPAs of all time. I'm not just saying that because this brewery and tap house is down the street from my house. I'm just saying that I rarely ever have any well-balanced IPAs. When the hops are in there, depending on what hops they are, they can either fool you or impress you or surprise you. In this one, I was impressed when I had it on tap. Having it out of the can sometimes be a whole different experience, and this experience, very surprising. However, I still stand by my grade of 4.5 out of 5, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Well, we hope you enjoyed this part 1 of Adventurous Brewing's lineup. If you've had these beers before and you agree with me, you can leave a thumbs up. If you've had them and you don't agree, you can leave a thumbs down, or you can leave a comment in the section below on the beer that you had that you really didn't care for, and why you didn't care for it. And that's alright, because every beer's not for everybody. And I mean, there are beers that I'm not too fond of myself, and that's perfectly alright. Apart from that, make sure you share on social media, push that little red button, ring that bell for instant notifications. Also, make sure you check out my boy Hefe at Beer You Beer Me and Beard Wizard Man for both of their beer-related content as well as anything that comes up down the line for them. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you tomorrow for part 2 on What's Your Poison's Adventurous Brewing lineup. Take care. Cheers.